Howdy folks, welcome back to War Thunder with the mighty Jingles. Today, due to many requests, I'm taking a look at this thing, the Arado 234 Blitz, the only jet bomber in the game, technically. More on that towards the end of the video. And here it is, sits here at rank 20 in the German tech tree, the only German rank 20 at the moment. I erroneously pointed out that the ME-262 was a rank 20 jet fighter. It's not, it's rank 19 in my previous War Thunder video. The Arado, however, yep, there it is. Rank 20 jet bomber. It's the only German rank 20 aircraft. Strangely enough, I don't seem to have researched the Dornier 217s and ME-410s. Oh well, fix that later. So here it is. Now, what do you get with the Arado 234? Well, you get a jet bomber, twin-engine bomber, which sacrificed a lot for its speed. It has no weapons other than 3 500 kilo bombs mounted externally, no internal bomb bays. This thing was made as light and fast as they possibly could. The idea was to outrun enemy interceptors. That was the intention. But 1500 kilos of bombs is not a lot. And that's not so bad in arcade battles where you can reload in the air. But in historical battles and full real battles, that is going to be a problem. Especially given that, unlike a ground attacker, you don't have any guns. So once your bombs are gone, that's it. It's a long old flight back to base to rearm. And this thing's a rank 20 bomber. And there's going to be a lot of MiG-15s and F-86 Sabres and Meteor F-8s thirsty for your German blood. So let's see how this thing handles. We'll take it up for a few games, and then we'll talk about the design and development of the aircraft. So first thing I'm going to do, take it up in a single mission. This one's fairly straightforward. We're basically bombing a bunch of bridges, you know, stuff. And there's nothing more dangerous than LA-5s going up against us. So we should be able to outrun an LA-5 easily, right? Yeah, we're going to see about that. Now, the bomb load of the 234 is historically accurate. The typical bomb load was a 500 kilo bomb under each engine nacelle and one under the centerline, but it could also be configured to carry a 1400 kilo bomb under the centerline. But that in itself is indicative of the kind of contradictions that this aircraft was just made of. You have to understand that the whole purpose of the Arado 234 Blitz was to be a high altitude, well, an aircraft that was capable of flying at high altitude very fast. It would not require weapons because it was too fast to be intercepted by enemy fighters. And in order to make sure it went as fast as it possibly could, they stripped everything that wasn't 100% necessary. It only had one crew. The pilot was also the bombardier. There were no gunners. Well, that's not strictly true. The 234 in the game has no guns, but the 234B did actually have twin, rear-facing, unmovable, fixed-firing 20mm cannons, which the pilot was expected to aim by steering the aircraft using that periscope that you can see at the top of the cockpit. In practice, the guns were usually taken out, just to save space, to make this thing as fast as possible. So you've got this twin-engine jet bomber that they've literally stripped everything out of just to make it as light and fast as possible. And then they go and stick the bombs on the outside. And here we go. I'm being chased by an LA-5. Now, this is an AI LA-5. It's not even as intelligent as a human pilot. So this guy is going to break off in a, and abandon the chase in a way that a human pilot never would. If there'd been a human pilot on my tail, I'd probably be dead now. But also notice, again, credit where credit's due, this is very manoeuvrable for a bomber. It handles a lot more like a fighter than probably any other bomber in the game. And not just under the arcade flight model, which is what we're flying with here in this single mission. You can really throw this thing around the sky in historical battles as well, but you pay a price for that. The price that you pay is your speed. Now, we're not really seeing that here because, again, arcade flight model. And one thing that you get in the arcade flight model that you certainly don't get in historical is engine boost. This thing doesn't have wartime emergency power, it's a jet engine, but you can boost up to 109% in arcade. And I'm doing, there we go, I mean I was doing 800 kilometers per hour not long ago when I was in that shallow dive. But oh look, the LA5 can catch me when it goes into a dive. And this is my top speed right now, 730 odd kilometers per hour. But, I mean, that doesn't bode well. If an LA5 can catch a rank 20 jet without too many problems, what's it going to be like when you're going up against MiG-15s? Hell, even MiG-9s, even HE-163s, let alone ME-262s and F-86 Sabres. So that's kind of worrying. And you might be saying, oh yeah, but it's the arcade flight model, those aircraft have got, you know, much more generous handling characteristics. Well, yeah, it's the arcade flight model, and I also have much more generous handling characteristics. That's why I was able to put this thing at over 800 kilometers per hour in that short dive as I was opening up distance while waiting to rearm. And here they come again. And this thing has no weapons. Its speed is its only defense. And it's not even fast enough to get away from an LA5, let alone an F-86 or a MiG-15. Or God help us, a Meteor F-8. And those AI pilots are still on my ass. Let's not forget, the only reason this aircraft is still flying is because those are AI pilots. A competent human pilot would have shot me down by now. Not difficult to do. And there goes my tail control. And these are AI pilots. More than capable of catching the fastest bomber in the game in their rank 13 and 14 AI controlled aircraft. That is some scary shit right there. Now if a bot flying an aircraft 7 ranks below yours can do that to you, how is this thing going to fare in arcade or historical battles against people flying equivalent tier aircraft? Well, I'm sure you can use your imagination, because we're talking about trying to take this thing on bombing runs against F-86 Sabres, MiG-15s and ME-262s, and oh look, that's exactly what the entire enemy team consists of. And me and an ME-163 are the only jet aircraft on our team. So this isn't strictly fair. I mean, this is matchmaking failure of epic proportions. The enemy team is just stuffed full of rank 20 aircraft, and my team takes one look at that and they all just quit. So this promises to be a short flight. However, for the purposes of showing you the weaknesses of the Arado 234 Blitz, it's a perfect example. And it's really disappointing, because the first operational use of the Arado 234 Blitz was 2 of the reconnaissance versions of this aircraft, who were rushed to France shortly after D-Day to get, to build some intelligence on exactly what the Allies were doing in Normandy. And so they sent them on a overflight of the beaches. And they were so good at it, they were so ideally suited for the reconnaissance role, they were never even detected. They were flying so high and so fast, nobody even knew they were there. And they were really, really good in the reconnaissance role. In fact, more of these aircraft were used as reconnaissance aircraft than were used as bombers. The final inventory of the Luftwaffe stores of 234s, which was taken on the 10th of April 1945, listed 38 Arado 234 Blitzers in service. 12 of them were bombers, 24 of them were reconnaissance aircraft, 2 of them were night fighters. The night fighter variant of the 234 was not particularly effective. There is no record of any of them ever achieving a single kill. But the bombers were reasonably effective. I mean, despite having a paltry bomb load, they were more than capable against the fighters and interceptors that they were going up against. Aircraft like the Hawker Tempest, the P-51, various variants of the Spitfires, they were more than capable of outrunning them and delivering their modest bomb loads to the target and getting the pilots back safely. And therein lies the War Thunder version of the Arado 234's problem, because it's just like the real thing. It has no weapons. It cannot defend itself. So it is forced to rely on its speed in order to keep it safe from attack. And yet, only now, after 4 minutes of flight, only now in a 30-degree dive, approaching the target zone, are we even getting close to our advertised top speed. And after all that, what exactly have we achieved? We've killed one tank and damaged another. Even if every single bomb that we carried had hit, we'd have killed 3 tanks. But 3 bombs is your lot, that's it. So now it's that long, lonely flight all the way back to our airbase. And I say lonely in particular because there were only 2 of us who bothered flying on our team in this mission. Because the epic matchmaking fail that stacked the entire enemy team with MiG-15s and F-86s and gave us me and an ME-163. Everybody else on the team quit. But if nothing else, it will serve to illustrate the utter pointlessness of trying to evade death in one of these things when you are matched against aircraft of an equivalent tier. And here they come. I can't outrun them. It just isn't fast enough. It's the fastest bomber in the game, and its speed is its only advantage. And it's not fast enough. Not even close to being fast enough. Its direct competitors, the kind of aircraft it's going to have to try to run away from, are all 200 to 300 kilometers per hour faster than this thing. And because they're not as heavy, they have better acceleration, and they certainly have better handling performance. I will say this for the old 234, however, it is very manoeuvrable, and I was surprised I was able to stay alive as long as I did. But all you're doing is delaying the inevitable. There's no way these guys were not going to kill me. There didn't even need to be 5 of them on me. 1 of them, sooner rather than later, was going to do this. Because for an aircraft that relies on speed above all else to keep it alive, it's just not good enough. So, the Arado 234 is just riddled with problems. Its only defence is its speed. It has no weapons. None whatsoever. This aircraft is 100% completely incapable of defending itself. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to be faster than any interceptors that go up against it. And it could do that in reality, but it can't do that in War Thunder because it's at rank 20. And that means it's trying to outrun aircraft like that. And aircraft like that. And aircraft like that. And they are all 200 kilometers an hour faster than that. So it has no speed advantage. It cannot defend itself. It's just a target. It totally fails as a rank 20 jet bomber. In more than one way, because this is not the only rank 20 jet bomber in the game. You're all going, what are you talking about, Jingles? It's not just the only rank 20 jet bomber in the game, it's the only jet bomber in the game. Well, technically, yeah, but also not. Let's show you some other rank 20 jet bombers. You see that under the wings? 250 kilo bombs. The MiG-15 is technically a rank 20 jet fighter bomber. It's not all. That's not even the best jet bomber in the game. Arguably, it's certainly better than the Arado. Meteor F8. See that under the wings? Those are 2 1,000-pound bombs. That thing has a comparable bomb load to the Arado 234 and 420mm cannons, and it's a fighter. It's 200 kilometers per hour faster. You get in a game in your Arado flying against these things, they will get to the target before you, they will kill the ground targets before you, they will then climb to whatever altitude you think you're safe at and kill you before you get to drop your bombs. This thing is just a waste of a slot in the tech tree at rank 20. It does not belong there. Even the aircraft that it was designed to outrun can catch it. This thing's top speed, 735 kilometers per hour. You will exceed that speed in a dive eventually, but let's not forget what this thing actually is. If you want to look at it in a certain way, this thing is an ME-262 that's bigger, heavier, less manoeuvrable, can't defend itself, is slower, and is weighed down by these bombs, which aren't even carried in internal bomb bays, so create even more drag. That's bad news. And the aircraft that it actually was designed to outrun can, under not too unusual circumstances, catch it. The LA-5 can do 648 kilometers per hour and has engine boost. The Arado doesn't. It can dive on you and catch you when you're exiting the target area. Or if you're particularly unlucky, as you're entering the target area. The Yak-3 is only rank 9. That thing can do 648 kilometers per hour. That thing can catch and kill Arado 234s. Other aircraft that were actually put up against Arado 234s, like for example, the Hawker Tempest and the Hawker Typhoon. 641 kilometers per hour. Yeah, that thing will catch you in a dive, and it will rip you apart with its 20mm cannons. Although, to be fair, the Hawker Tempest was used to kill Arado 234s when they were landing and taking off, rather than when they were in flight, but it can do it. And these things are all rank 13 and 14. They're certainly not rank 20. So what to do with the Arado 234? Because this thing is just dead. It's just dead weight as a rank 20 bomber. It does not belong at rank 20, regardless of the fact that it's got jet engines. To keep this thing competitive, I don't know. It needs to drop 7 ranks. Make it rank 13 or 14 or maybe even 15. That would be my suggestion. I haven't really thought it through. You may be able to see obvious problems with that I haven't considered, but as a rank 20 jet bomber, this thing is just a big bag of fail. It is not fast enough to escape the kind of aircraft that it gets matched up against. It's not even close to being fast enough to escape the kind of aircraft it gets matched up against. Its bomb load is pathetic. You are going to have a hard time finding ways to make this thing work. I certainly couldn't. So I must apologise to you guys who are happily grinding your way up the German tech tree to get to this thing, because I have not been able to have any fun at all flying it. I certainly wish you better luck than I had, but I'm not going to be touching this thing again. It's a pointless exercise. As always, folks, watch your 6. I'll catch you next time.